Jay walked into a bright room where everything seemed to be all white. He could only hear a beeping sound coming from every corner of the room. As his eyes adjusted to the brightness of the light, he slowly took a step forward and looked at the people who are laying down. They were patients. They are in their deathbeds. The beeping sound came from the machines who are trying to sustain the lives of these people. With this, Jay seemed to be intrigued and was very curious about each patient's current state. With that in mind, Jay locked eyes with a patient who seemed to be around his mid-30s. Jay walks up to this patient and grinned, as the patient slowly looked at Jay and did the same thing. At this moment, Jay seemed to have a connection with this patient, with just natural human expression. Then, Jay proceeded to ask, "How are you?" The patient calmly answered, I'm about to die." Jay didn't expect the patient's answer to be so honest and dark. With that in mind, Jay took time to comprehend the patient's answer. Knowing that Jay was in an awkward situation, the patient killed the dead air and asked the same question. Jay, in relief, answered, I'm doing good." With the curiousness in mind, Jay asked more personal questions that one is dared not to ask. Jay asked, "Why are you in this position right now?" The patient openly answered, "I committed suicide about 2 weeks ago, but my plan didn't go well." Jay, who isn't contented with the answer, proceeded to ask, "Why did you do it?" The patient, who isn't paying much attention to Jay, said, "Huh?" Then, Jay asked a more specific question. "Why did you try to kill yourself?" There was a slight pause between this initial question, then the patient answered, "Life was unfair to me. Everyone seemed to be minding their own business without even taking time to notice other people that surround them. People are cruel and selfish. They are all mean and they would only care about themselves. Cashier registers look at you with so much anger that it seemed like it was your fault that they are in their position right now. They look at you with so much hatred because their day wasn't going very well. Everything seemed to be very unbalanced in this reality, and I wanted my reality to be different. That's why I tried to do it." As Jay was listening, he thought about his current situation and pondered the things that are happening to him. As Jay was in a state of realization, the patient tried to wake him up into his senses by saying, "Hey, are you okay?" Jay, who finally came to his senses, replied, Yeah. You know what? I'm here because I also tried to commit suicide, but then I just couldn't. There was this voice in my head that I couldn't shake off, which led me here. I'm in a situation where everything seemed to be unrealistic and monotonous. There isn't much going on in my life, and I just wish that everyone would be slightly different from one another. I wish that people would be mean so that I could feel a special feeling with other people that treats me right. I wish everyone wouldn't be so nice so that I could differentiate people and things. I need drama, different interactions, and problems in life so that I could truly live." The patient then asked, What life would you want in order for you to start giving this reality a chance?" Jay, as he was thinking about this question, pondered that, yeah, that was true. We were both in opposite situations, and yet we end up not liking the reality that we're currently in. With this story, we learned that in life, we need a little bit of sadness so that we know when the good times come in. We worship perfection because we can't have it. If we had it, we would reject it, because perfection is inhuman, and humanity is imperfect. Essentially, the perfect life becomes boring after a while, and you want to introduce more and more risk. Not knowing if something will be good or bad is essential to a rich life. The story clearly points out that society would grow dull and miserable without conflict and hardship, but the stresses and inequalities of modern industrial societies are equally hard to achieve happiness in. For most people living in modern societies, it seems intimate connections and a general lack of purpose or meaning to one's life is the biggest cause of depression and substance abuse. It also seems that the more technology progresses, the more worried, abstract, existential ideas, and the more isolated we become. The way to achieve long-term sustainable happiness is through living the moment. Yet living in the moment cannot be achieved either in the elimination of all hardship or in a fast-paced society. We learned that we can't appreciate Fridays without having to experience a Monday. The art of satisfaction, therefore, is being able to realize that somewhere out there, a person is trying to live the reality that you've been dreaming of. Somewhere out there, there's someone hoping that they would have the same reality, the same life as yours. And here you are, ungrateful and unwanting the reality that you're currently living in. We can never be satisfied unless we can take a deeper look at the things that we should be grateful for.